What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today is June the 6th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, we do have two coming out in roughly 45 minutes from right now. Non-farm payroll, and forecast for that right now is 130. Unemployment forecast is 4.2. If it does come in a little bit hotter than anticipated, I feel like the market might take that as a positive, and only because that would justify future rate cuts. So again, you have that potentially being able to move the market. Aside from that, it's just the market digesting what the hell happened yesterday between Trump and Elon. Things seem to have calmed down. White House already has announced that there is no planned conversations between the two for today, but there was a lot of crazy things that was said. Elon mentioned that in the second half of this year that there's going to be a recession, that Trump is on the Epstein files. That's why he hasn't really put it forward or put it out to the public. Crazy stuff. This is a unique time period, but nonetheless, because of Bill Ackman, you do have him kind of calming Elon down. So the market's taking that as a positive, moving higher. Dow is up 0.3, S&P up 0.38, NASDAQ up 0.51. So let me know your thoughts on that. Fear and greed index moved down slightly, but still under the greed category, meaning people's appetite for risk is on the table. But getting right to it, SoFi is up 1.24% because they were up like 5% yesterday. And because of all that crap, it just went crazy down. So I feel if the data points do come out better than anticipated, you could see obviously a very nice recovery back to where it was. Keep in mind though, you will have shorts fairly active today. So they're not doing anything so far pre-market, but 13.55% of the free float's being shorted. Works out to be 147.18 million shares. The reason why they'll be active is because labor data is very important to the feds. So if negative, they'll really pounce all over that. Plus the open interest. So right now you have 37,000 at that 14 and then the 15,000 at the 1350. So those are going to be the relevant points to watch for. Market makers and shorts have a financial interest to ensure that SoFi does stay below 14. So if SoFi does have a nice run, which it looks like it will, you might see shorts active to try to bring it down below that $14 mark. So we'll have to wait and see how that all does play out, but just keep in mind for that. With it though at 1384, trading right now between this R3 and this R2. So 1371 will be a strong support, and $14 is going to be the next strong target / resistance, adding another element of a potential issue. Again, $14 being a heavy resistance point. Shorts might make that kind of line in the sand, but aside from that, Tesla is up 4.68% during the overnight. It was up like, I think 6.5% at the peak. So today seems to be a fairly nice recovery. Give yourself a shout out if you did buy the dip yesterday, because it did have a low of $273. That was crazy. I did buy only 2 shares. I wish I would have bought more, but I did buy 2 shares at $275. So honestly, even if it would have went down, like, it's still, I think at that price is a pretty good deal if you ask me. But aside from that though, we'll have to, it is going to be a very volatile stock. A lot of big money is, like I said, going to be really digesting everything, because you have Elon somewhat calming down, but Trump pretty much outright said that he's going to be canceling all the government contracts. That is a big deal. We don't know if he was just running his mouth or if that is going to come to fruition. So we'll have to, again, wait and see how that does play out. But a lot of big names are starting to just say that things are going to recover. And so even Daniel Ives is saying that the whole Trump / Musk scenario will be resolved soon. So pretty good stuff as far as that goes. 3.04% of the free float's being shorted. Works out to be 85.23 million shares. Definitely interesting to see that shorts have been really increasing since February with Tesla, despite the stock price really moving higher. So they do feel maybe due to macro concerns or even specific to Tesla that there's more fear. So again, keep that in mind. Right now though, with that 297 trading right now between this pivot and this S1, so 291 will be a strong support, and then 328 will be the next strong target / resistance. So I don't see that 328 being touched whatsoever today, unless something crazy does happen and you have both individuals come out and just outright apologize, which most likely won't occur. But if it does pull back, just watch for 291. But moving on, Circle Internet Group, recent IPO, had a huge pop, up 168%, continuing that nice run today, up 11.75. Since it just IPO'd, there's no short information or anything like that. So just do your own due diligence at the end of the day. And even on a technical standpoint, there's no fib levels, no nothing. So just a lot of volume is already getting in on this stock. So it's a good swing trade, day trade. Just watch for a lot of the hold numbers, in my opinion, if you are going to kind of look for entry points. But yes, things seem to be looking pretty a-okay for today. Moving on is EYEN. So that did go up almost 51% yesterday, currently up 40% this morning. No news. They did put out a 8K yesterday, just going over kind of their recent amendment and their kind of deal, and they did change it from 9.9% to 19%, 19.99. So there is some convertible debt products behind the scenes that I do not like. A lot of stocks that have them typically go down the 90 something plus percent. So this stock is, in my opinion, this might be premature to say, and I don't really know much exactly about the company, but just based on the chart, their financials, a vague look at that, and their convertible debt, this stock is pretty much rest in peace for the most part. So I do feel this might be an advantageous entry point for a short position, but again, you do whatever floats your boat. If you do believe that this is a squeeze play, 8.28% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 237.49 thousand shares overall are being shorted. So this is the problem, is with a lot of these types of stocks, is that people see this as a crazy discount, but don't really understand exactly what the convertible debt products do to the stock. So again, a lot of this hype is good, so you can ride the wave up, but just be cautious. Things can go down and south very, very fast. So just be, again, aware of that. Overall, currently it is above all the key fib levels. So just watch for 380 if you are, for whatever reason, wanting to buy in, maybe orient it around that 380 price point. And then last but not least, Palantir is getting a lot of volume. It did go down 7.7%, craziness. So it is recovering a little bit with the broader market, up 2.66%. So give yourself a shout out if you did buy Palantir yesterday, if you caught the dip. I feel like this market now is just, you need to buy the dip. That's pretty much it. But nothing substantial coming out from Palantir whatsoever. 2.56% of the free floats being shorted, works out to be 55.7 million shares overall are being shorted. So Palantir shorts are still very scared to double down or even increase. So that's honestly a very good sign and should really stand to help it, at least going forward. So I don't really see shorts being a big deal for that. Right now, though, with at 122, it is trading right now between this S1 and S2. 121 is going to be a strong support, and then 124 next strong target / resistance. So given the circumstances, I could see this S1 being touched, and probably not this 128, but it might land somewhere between this pivot and this S1. So if you're a day trader, then have at it. Hopefully everyone has a good weekend ahead of them. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, crypto, many of which have been absolutely on point. Definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.